Well, welcome, Nick. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
So we've got Nick Stevens with us, who sounds like had an amazing time with the Wellbeing Project. So, Nick, what was your association with the project?
So I was in the first year. So it was a big certificate course that year. There was, I think, 30 some odd
Wow.
people,
Mm.
and it was the real pilot, the pilot session. So it was amazing to just really get to know those 30 amazing human beings who were all coming together for the same for for the for the same and if same thing. And also it was COVID times
Mm.
that we also forget about. So there was a lot of there was a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of people were a little bit nervous about still what was going on, and obviously well-being in the community. So I was one of the participants, basically, who came in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and didn't know what was going to go on, and yeah, was continuously, excited and baffled and by everything. My background is in education, so I'm always really interested to know, how things are going to go ahead. But yeah, I was a participant.
Yeah, fantastic. And what was the best part for you of being in the program?
Definitely meeting different people from different walks of life, from different backgrounds. Every single person in the certificate was amazing. I'm still connected to all of them in different ways. So really, for me, the best thing about the certificate was actually connection to
Mm,
other people,
nice.
and made actually what I would consider some of my best friends. And excuse the cat who's just about to do her own thing and walk
All
across
the
and
time.
all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, we
This is
like.
my other
There you go.
little well-being being creature. I'll pop her
A
down so she
service
doesn't
cat.
walk across again. Yeah, absolutely. She is my well-being cat.
And how about for the community? Could you visibly see any actual benefits from the Wellbeing Project in your community?
I think as I say, the first year was a pilot, and it was a little bit challenging because we were still all really figuring out how it worked. So I think the projects from the first year, a couple of projects got some traction, and a couple sort of got a little bit lost in everything else that was happening. But I was part of setting up the Wellbeing Festival with Pam. So Pam was the main instigator.
Mm.
It was Leah's idea to have an expo, and then she approached Pam. Pam ran with it, and then I put up my hand, um, probably a little bit at the last minute, but we we created something amazing that the and it's been run with the same everything we actually created, and people are often surprised when I said we did that in 7 weeks. We wouldn't suggest, and we when we did our wrap up at the end, we said don't do it again in 7 weeks. Give yourself more time. But pretty much everything that we did, so we created the format, how we connected with the community, how we connected with the all of the people that were either presenting or had their tables. And yeah, that was amazing. So, and I think because that's been run every year since, and the council's actually put more resources behind the scenes to doing that. I think that was an amazing part of
Yeah,
the
that's
certificate.
that's awesome. And what do you see going forward for the Wellbeing Project? We know the first term, the first 3 years is up. What do you envision? Do you think the Wellbeing Expo will continue? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I've pulled back a little bit from it, just different things that have been going on in my life. I've spent a lot of time going in and out of New Zealand the last couple of years, but the I was and I'll get this wrong, there is some kind of committee still, for want of a better word, still active. So a group of the wellbeing participants who've, behind the scenes collaborating and taking this forward. But I don't know what the sort of formalised plans are, and haven't really seen too much come out from what those plans are. So, to be honest with you, I don't know. But I suppose from the community's perspective, sky's the limit.
Yeah, excellent. Is there anything else I missed that you would like to share with the world?
Um, I would like to see it continue in some way, shape, or form. I think it's really important. We have an incredibly diverse community, and just from my perspective, just the connections that it made. I'm an interloper or a blow-in or whatever you want to say from the mainland, and that to me alone was, it gave me a real sense of belonging and made amazing friends. Yeah, also interesting to see, a little bit of the machinations of how the council works and how, that those sorts of things happen as well. So, I'd like to see it keep going. But in what way? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Nick. I'm glad we got this chance to catch up. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for asking me. Thanks so much. Take care.